and will get even sooner if LGD can take this second game. Of course, best of 3, so Cloud9 not out of it yet, and the bans have already begun.
So this time around, LED have second pick, so they can't really afford to ban out both the Undying and the Beastmaster. Darkseer ban coming out immediately from Cloud9, so they probably have a plan.
I think it's less that and more if you're the second pick, or if you're the first pick, what ends up happening is if you just blind pick the Darkseer, then a lot of the things that combo well with you, the Spirit Breaker and the Winter Wyvern, just get taken away. And so it's one of those heroes that individually you don't want to take as a first pick, but you'd much rather have it as a second too, so you can see what you're playing against.
At this point in time, what do we think the best opening for Cloud9 would be as a first pick?
Tusk.
So if they can get their hands on, at very least, the Tusk, it forces LGD perhaps to either ban the Undying here or take it themselves. That's a dangerous proposition, though.
What LGD could do now is ban out the Tusk, let them have the Undying,
And that's what they've
and
done.
then bank on them not picking the Beastmaster in these first 2 picks so that they can ban it out in the second phase. They still get the luxury of getting the Beastmaster removed from the game and only give away an Undying, which I think is a fair trade, especially... Okay.
Wow.
That is interesting.
Maybe if you open that quickly, you're going to go for something like the Alk and just guarantee that you don't have anything that can counter you. You can do something cheesy like take the Alk or the Huskar. It's kind of a stable pick. If you're first pick, you can just use it as a bear opener to see what LGD go for, and it's relatively safe. The only downside to it is I don't think there's any real dedicated strategies around hitting the A Ice Blast.
Yeah, I think it's decent against LGD just because you know they're not going to pick the Slaughter, so that's not a real concern. Wind Ranger might not even be high on either team's priority list.
I feel like you just take Undying plus Dazzle or something, or Undying Winter Wyvern. Just go for a really solid opener like that. I don't know how you skip Undying. I feel like that hero's... especially if you're LGD and you rolled over them in 20 minutes, why not just do it again?
And also knowing that it's a favorite hero of Cloud9 as well, it serves as almost a block pick. They are going to go for their mid maybe pickup, the Queen of Pain to start with.
Okay, I think you take Gyro or... What was the other hero I said? You take Gyro or Undying here. If you don't, then maybe you have to grab your offlaner and pick something like the Clock. But I don't know how I feel about that early.
I don't think you need to pick the Clock yet. Winter Wyvern was the other support that you mentioned.
This limits the potential Wind Ranger pickup from Cloud9, which is traditionally one of the better mids to go up against Queen of Pain, because Winter Wyvern is a pretty solid counter. It's still a little bit limited because Cold Embrace isn't going to be as good with the going up against an Ancient Apparition, but I think that's the way that I would look at it, is that it prevents the Wind Ranger from being a second pick for Cloud9.
I don't think that it entirely forces that. I feel like it's a really good counter, but it's still a good enough hero on its own. You just kind of have to pick maybe your supports around it, like take Alina, something that can burst down. Is that a Brood ban?
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty safe ban, knowing that the Darkseer is already out.
Yeah. Also, the problem is, oftentimes what'll happen is, if you take like the DS, you don't want to be in a one-on-one matchup with a Brood when you've got a hero like Clockwork. That would be absolutely miserable. And A doesn't do anything against that hero either.
Are these the only 2 teams in the tournament that just refuses to play Slaughter?
It might be.
Amongst them.
Slaughter is just... It's popular for a reason. It works with every core.
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking we have to regard that as a glaring weakness, right? In the actual strategic phase of the game.
Yeah. I think a lot of people consider Secret, rightfully so, probably top 3 team in the world, top 2. Maybe you throw EG in the mix because of their TI5 performance, and they seem to favor it first pick if they can get it every single time. And there's a reason for it.
Well, that and Shadow Fiend.
So the AM gets banned out.
So LGD could be cute here, ban out the Night Stalker and go for an Ember Spirit pickup.
I think... The AM pick makes sense though, or the AM ban makes sense to me, anyways. Because if you give
You have two
only
heroes that have no lockdown.
Yeah, we saw that when it was EG versus Fnatic yesterday.
Mhm.
And if you still decide to take the Undying, what ends up happening is then you have two supports that don't do anything, and the counter to playing against heroes like Undying is just go for the split push and ignore him as a hero entirely.
Bounty Hunter, I did not expect this to happen.
One of the few other teams that will run Bounty Hunter from time to time. Alongside Secret.
They have a lot of control on the middle lane already. Regardless of what Rax is gonna end up playing, I'd be worried for him.
I just hate this Clockwork second pick so much.
Yeah,
I think like Cloud9 are strongest when they're running aggro dual lanes.
I'm
Clockwork
just
is not
sold on
that
it,
hero.
and the fact that the Undying is still in the pool, it's
5 seconds remaining.
yeah. It's
I'd like to
puzzling.
see something like Bane or Undying.
They definitely need some control.
Yeah, I like Bane or Undying. But I think you need something that can stop the Queen of Pain, or at least slow her down, which is why I'd favor the Bane. Maybe even take your Ritsu hero. Yeah. They're on Radiant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to give up Gyrocopter, as you saw last game, because if the Dire get Gyro, then they just invade the Radiant jungle at around the 10-minute mark.
But presumably LGD already have a plan that didn't include the gyro.
If you're gonna pick Bounty Hunter for sure, there's no reason to not. Because I think if they had the option, they would have taken the Gyro, presumably right after that. It synergizes with a lot of with Winter Wyvern, the curse. You just lay down, call down, you get guaranteed crowd control.
Don't you just build more mobility potentially for LGD? I mean, you've got the very clear team fights combination for Cloud9, hookshot in. You're going to have a Gyrocopter ultimate and Ice Blast over the top. But if you have these heroes that can move in and out of a team fight, force out the BKB use or force out some of those ultimates being used, you'll clean up the team fight afterwards.
I'd like something fun by LGD. Take like a... Hold on. I'll tell you in a second.
This is how Blitz drafts, by the way.
You take like a PA.
You don't ban you don't pick the Viper and the Razor because those are not fun to play.
You take the PA, or you take who else can split push? No, PA can't split push. What am I thinking of right now then?
Bulldog's Prophet.
If you're LGD, maybe you just go for mass mobility. Isn't that what you said, Austin?
Yep.
Yeah, you take like maybe Embers.
All right. So they go for the ROTK Earthshaker.
Austin, as somebody who spammed this hero to get to 6k, what are the strengths of it?
Thank you. Well, one of the big weaknesses is that it's not going to be able to challenge Gyrocopter if Cloud9 leave him alone in lane. Right, and that was always the downside of Earthshaker in 6.84. Teams figured that out towards the later half of the patch, and going into 6.85, it's even more obvious when more offlaners are prevalent. So I'm not a big fan of it unless you're running super aggro.
Yeah, and it's not particularly good against the Clockwork and the AA either.
Yeah, easily locked down by the clock. If you have any sort of like controlling support hero, Earthshaker is going to be very scared of showing up in lane because obviously the Gyrocopter brings enough damage.
Honestly, hero spammers are just so disgusting. It's hard to look at you.
I did not spam Earthshaker.
Yeah, okay, man. Who are you trying to convince here?
Do you have more Earthshaker games than Blitz has?
It's got to be close.
No, it's definitely not close at all.
Austin, you don't.
It's because I play more than one role.
Yeah, you don't got to
Something
defend
Blitz
yourself.
doesn't really know about.
Dude, that wasn't even
you know what the classic is? Whenever Blitz doesn't have a comeback, it's the like, oh, your joke is so terrible.
There were so many better ways. There's so many better ways you could have gone.
I think we can make a case for
if I was you, I would have been like, what's it like being the Merlini that ate the Merlini? Like, that would have been a really good
I'm not
one.
gonna make a fat joke, come on.
But I'm just saying, these are territories that you can enter, Austin. The Storm Sphere one was low-hanging
I'll
fruit.
save that for some of our casts, but I'm not gonna go on the major stream and make a fat joke at you.
My
Come on.
God, this isn't even
classless.
good banter.
That was about as smooth as one of his arms.
Thank you, Paul. All right, we've got picks left though. Cloud9, you take the Wind Ranger. We saw it in the last game, right? It's just the 1-to-1 that you want to take, and it's reliable. Even if there's a Winter Wyvern, you want to be able to have that counter in the mid lane, and you've got enough burst magic damage in the Gyrocopter and the Ancient Apparition, so the Cold Embrace doesn't do as much.
I mean, they must have something planned out for Sylar, right? Well, I don't... This bounty hunter pick still confuses me a bit. They had a very good... They were on a good path to just completely shutting down Cloud9 until that pickup came. Now I'm a bit worried that if they go for a... too big of a farmer... I like the Spectre ban, actually. Again, as I was saying earlier...
TA for LGD.
So that's a...
They're going to be putting...
Queen of Pain on the 1 position?
I mean, this is more fits into Sylar's playstyle, where he's been adopting more of an aggressive 1 position and creating more space for maybe to be the true carry. So I think this makes a lot of sense.
If you're C9, you
need... a lot of kill and gang potential for LGD right now.
You need something that can catch as a support. The Bane?
A Rubik, maybe?
The Rubik is...
combos decently with the AA, steals the Fisher.
Yeah.
Track.
Oh!
Alright then.
Ogre God!
Magoo.
Alright, well that's thrown us a little curveball. And we'll send another curveball this way back to the commentary team. They'll take you through LGD versus Cloud9 for Game 2.
Paul, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Well, Ben, time for Game 2. LGD, they really took it to Cloud9 in Game number 1. They're going to need to compose themselves here, because that was pretty brutal.
It's okay. They have other strategies. Some.
Like Ogre McGee?
Yeah, that hero's awesome. I like him a lot.
Do you think he's strong now, though? Nobody picks him.
He's kind of overshined by Undying in particular, I would say, because Undying fits a similar role. You can go in the offlane, you can offlane dual lane, you can roam around and do stuff. Ogre scales a lot better, but he's just not as nearly as effective as the Undying.
Well, there's also Night Stalker, who can just run around creating havoc in the mid game. Very tanky support as well, but can also put a lot of map control out there.
I view him as a visible bounty hunter. He does very similar things, except you can see him at all times.
There's no mistaking this Lardy one. You definitely know when the Ogre's in the neighborhood. All right, Cloud9 trailing 0-1 in the best of 3. A loss here sends them down to the lower bracket at the main event, where they'll play in the dreaded BO1s. A lot at stake. It will be maybe heading mid on the Templar Assassin, already moving towards that top rune. 1 Radiant Observer planted down nice and early.
It was cool of them to switch up the draft, though, and put Sylar in the safe lane, then throw maybe on the TA. Queen of Pain would have definitely suited maybe, too, but I guess they think the TA is a really good matchup versus the Wind Ranger. Much better, actually.
Yeah, definitely an interesting adjustment. Dire, meanwhile, have managed to put the Magic Bush Ward down, as Momoya will make his way deeper into the woods. There is a couple of sentries ready, as well as a dust up on SVG. But MMY not going to get caught, at least not yet. And he should make it out okay. So that early first blood that we occasionally see when teams bait the trap for the bounty hunter won't be happening.
He just wanted to make sure they aren't doing anything funny, not aggroing, for example, although I'm not sure why you would do that against a Queen of Pain, but it's still a possibility. Oops, sentry dropped down.
Uh-oh. I think they might have seen him. Maybe not.
Now they do.
Why? He does walk past it. They have the dust ready. Time to start clubbing the little yellow goblin, and first blood. Well, just a bit unfortunate. If he had just stayed in the pit, I don't think Cloud9 were sure he walked in there, and he may have just gotten away, but didn't realize the sentry had been plopped down, it seems, and ends up giving up the first kill.
Good play by Cloud9. Unfortunately, they don't have, I think, a sentry available to them in order to deward that.
They have one, but it's on Brax.
Yeah, they don't. They need to be able to deward that. Ancient Apparition is one of those supports that is going to constantly be harassed by the bounty hunter, and you want to get level 6 ASAP. But with the Ignite, level 1 maybe is taking a lot of harass in the mid lane, and on top of that, he doesn't really have that much regen going for the Side Blades level 1.
Yeah, it seemed like he was expecting more of a true 1v1 or a lot of help from the bounty, but that sentry available in Brax won't be so easy for MMY to get the harass off. So elsewhere, we're going to have two 2v1s. RTK up against the dual lane. As they do pursue, maybe looking for the killer, has no points of refraction, and the dust does it again. Also catches MMY. This could be a twofer potentially. Power shot going down. They're going to commit for this. The tanky beast running in, and they get it as well. Cloud9 come out swinging here, leading 3-0. And the courier wants a piece of the action. Oh, runs into the creep wave. We'll back off.
Can't underestimate the Ogre, man. That hero is super tanky, and also I think they realized that he didn't have refraction at all, and that is actually causing him a lot of trouble right now.
SVG, job's done. Gonna go maybe stack the Ancients, then head back to the well.
Oh, he has bo3. What more do you need?
RTK also in trouble. LGD, the disaster start after the dream start last game. 4 kills already. This is
the bounty hunter doesn't
terrible.
really make that much sense though. If they had the Queen of Pain mid, I would say okay, that's good. You can actually get kills, but Templar Assassin can't put out that much pressure on a Wind Ranger. The Earthshaker can't put out any pressure on a Gyrocopter at all. So where is a bounty hunter to roam? Maybe you can mess with 1437 as a support, but now MMY is pretty much just soaking up XP in the offlane because he has no home.
So SVG at 2 minutes as a roaming ogre has boots, another pack of dust, and an oov. Not to mention still the mango. This is a very scary ogre.
Yes. I don't know how they're going to deal with him being up in their face, but maybe Sylar on the Queen of Pain can salvage this early game for LGD.
He will be the man who's got to do it right now. 12-8 so far in the offlane. Not quite there with the gyro, but very close. MSS, however, is getting his levels. Level 2 already. We have seen Brax plant down a sentry ward. There's one available for MMY if he wants to try to deward this, and looks like he will. Gets rid of it. So this gives maybe a little more confidence, but already the ogre's back. Zugs his way right into the lane.
There is... They just can't do anything about him. If they walk up, ignite, all your refraction charges are gone, and on top of that, he starts ooving you.
Yeah, and he packs a punch. That hero's pretty decent base damage.
They don't really have any good jump, though. Last game, they had the Clockwork and the Tusk. This game, Janata? Queen of Pain Blink, I suppose, but her team can't follow her in.
Bit of a wraparound coming here. SVG looking to get in position. Not going to dive the tower, though. Meanwhile, top lane, they have managed to go on MSS. Looks like they should be able to find a kill here. And they do, bringing down the offlane clock, but it's a 3-hero kill to get it done.
SG constantly stacking Ancients for Brax, maybe finally with 2 levels in refraction, can start to feel relatively safe in the mid lane, especially with a sentry plop down.
Yeah, he's going to go for the stack again. Looks like this time it should.
Uh-oh, MMY. They do have a dust.
Oh, not again. MMY. Once more. Work.
Really good movement by SVG, though. I don't even think he saw him. He just expected and anticipated that the bounty hunter was going to be there. Some sick ogre play.
Everything's working for SVG right now. Surprised he doesn't just, like, dive into their fountain and kill the courier. At this rate, it seems that should probably succeed as well. He now lobs out the slow onto DDC, baits out the Arctic Burn. They're just going to retreat over the tree line. No real punish for that. So he will make it away, but SVG just creating space everywhere he goes.
He has no mana left, though. No threat now. So LGD can relax for about a minute.
Yeah, but there have been consequences for LGD. The failed bounty hunter roams, they have not been stacking the Ancients, whereas the Radiant Ancients already getting stacked. Something that your Gyrocopter can clear out later on. And generally, the really successful TA performance has been, we've seen they get Ancient stacks super early. We're already 5 minutes in.
But maybe he hasn't suffered that much in terms of CS in the mid lane. Brax is only 6 up on maybe. In the bottom lane, Ritsu has allowed ROTK to get level 4, which is pretty good as an offlane Earthshaker. I think with Ogre and AA on full-time duty, Earthshaker gets 0 experience. So that's some things that Cloud9 hasn't been able to achieve in this early game.
Oh, can they maybe get a courier snipe here? This could be big for MMY.
Maybe on the way back.
Yeah, the speed burst is available though, so it's not going to be easy.
They don't have any sentries left. I don't see any sentries on them. They've been doing a really good job of carrying dust and sentries around, but ever since that sentry in mid, they just kind of given up. MMY in the perfect position to snipe the Golden Doomling. One more.
Does manage to get it, and that is a desperately needed injection of gold for LGD. While in the middle lane, there's a shackle onto maybe. Refraction's cooling down here. He does have the ability to go under meld, and he will. Brax power shot in 1 second, but also the refraction up. Gonna line it up, but maybe will retreat.
Ogre looking for a kill on maybe, but the bottle is on the way. SVG gets scouted out by Creep, so this will not be a kill. Maybe actually will be able to bounty ruin it up on the bottom.
Yeah, he gets the full rotation of bottle charges now. 6 in total, and a little bit of much needed gold for him as well.
That's brutal that the chicken died though. Now the gold is just about zeroed out after that.
Is it just the courier kill? Wow.
I mean, that's like 3 kills right there. So
still, they're CSing well here too, but I guess the clockwork is struggling a bit in the offlane. The good news though is, well, actually no, they're losing experience now. What more can the Ogre do?
It's because the Earthshaker has been able to get a lot. He's level 5 with Soul Ring.
It's also the pull block. They had a full duration magic bush ward.
Yes.
Never got dewarded. Is one of the benefits of the bounty hunter pick. You force out those.
This is with ROTK in the offlane too.
He hasn't died yet. What died one time, but hasn't been chain feeding, which is good.
Watch your words there.
SVG, oh, this is a bold maneuver. He's going to toss out the dust, runs into 3, and the quick TP attempted. Fissure comes through. 4 heroes will beat down the brute. I suppose a little bit of space created.
But that's not
to get down the ward
at all.
To get down the ward.
Now the bounty hunter is doing a better job than the ogre of roaming. Now he's actually surpassed the two-headed brute in terms of experience. And once they get that track online, you really have to have a super solid early game or a really tight mid game in order to not let that gold just take over track after track.
Still no ancient stacks. Still very actually
they don't need
double
ancient
stacks
though
in the dire jungle here.
They just need track kills. They just need experience on bounty hunter. That's probably the most important thing because they already have a pretty good baseline of experience and farm on the Earthshaker. He's already level 6.
Brax wants to contest this top rune, but will be forced back as the DDC Wyvern rotates in. So maybe bottles up the regen, though he was already very healthy to begin with. And the track is still a bit of a ways off. Already 8 minutes in, only a level 4 bounty hunter. So they'll need a little more time before that gold comes into play.
This safe lane queen is much more farm than Brax's queen from last game. Sylar has an Oblivion staff at 8 minutes. I think that Brax's was at 15 last game. So Sylar already off to a much better start, just able to play very efficiently, farm very well versus the clockwork, but that might stop soon with 2 heroes headed over here. But looks like MSS has TP'd into Vision on bottom lane, so that means that ROTK will know that he cannot die, or shouldn't die at least.
Well, in fact, he is going to start mobilizing here. Let's see where RTK wants to go. Under a Radiant Ward currently, he has been scouted out as well.
Wait, so why'd they make this lane switch? Why did they decide?
I guess they just want the hook shot. He's still not level 6.
Maybe they want Gyrocopter to get involved a little bit more, but they could have just rotated Gyro into the jungle, AA into the safe lane, and AA is also not at risk of dying to the Shaker. That's a little strange, because now AA is sitting up top trying to reach for level 6, but he's only like level 4.5, and do they really have kill potential on a Queen of Pain?
If he blinks forward.
Oh, or if Gyrocopter comes.
Yeah, they need that Ogre stun to set things up. Nah, Sylar too quick.
Why did he lead in with the Ignite first? Maybe hoping that Sylar was obscured by fog, I guess, and maybe hoping that Ogre could get...
I think he gets out anyway, though. It's only a 1.5 second stun.
I mean, with the call down slow, maybe not.
Yeah. They might have had to chase SVG. Instead, he'll get punished, and T-Bin does tank the ult from the Quap. Meanwhile, over towards mid lane, maybe, and Brax. Rushing for the rune, the wind run tries to get there, drops the shackle, will get it up, but is it going to cost Brax? There's a trap available. That is not a value rune if Brax ends up going down for this, and Sylar arrives, will be able to get the kill. It looks like one more slice of those side blades finishes him off, and it looks like Cloud9 have completely lost any inkling of an advantage. In fact, it's been a 3,000 gold swing in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think they didn't really place enough sentries on early on. They had the first blood, they had a couple more kills, and then they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna get other items and not really keep track of where Bounty Hunter is at all. And the Bounty Hunter just ruined their early lanes, first with a kill on the clockwork, and of course excellent play by Sylar carrying the TP to help out his mid laner.
And meanwhile, LGD have gotten up some incredible wards here. This is obviously one of the big benefits of the Bounty Hunter. One towards the mid lane, to the right of the tower. Another over where you can get great vision when heroes TP into the tier 2. Not to mention the ward deep in the Radiant jungle. They can really keep eyes on this whole Cloud9 squad.
This is before MSS has really been able to get any hook shots in, though. So this is kind of their time to start turning things around. They need to kill Earthshaker before he gets his Blink Dagger. He's already at 800 gold, which is a really good start for an offlane Earthshaker. He has 34 CS.
Yeah, he just keeps on he hasn't used his mango yet either, Ben.
That is value.
Now you know RTK's having a good game.
He needs more mangoes.
Just start stacking them up. For a healthier you. Yet to really see the clockwork come into play now. He does have a hook shot.
Yeah, they need him to get involved because the Bounty Hunter is going to hit level 6 very soon. So they need to pick smart fights, kill people very, very quickly so that LGD can't respond with a Queen of Pain TP. But now they're grouping up as 5. Winter Wyvern Curse almost online. Winter Wyvern.
He's been scouted. Do they want to die for this MSS? Doesn't want to risk it. That could actually be disastrous. And now they do have track as well.
They didn't have quite enough mana on the Winter Wyvern. He was at about 200 mana once he hit level 6. Not enough for the Winter's Curse, and LGD looking to let that go. Nobody really in position to handle that fight.
Things have really slowed down for Cloud9 across the board. No aggression, still lacking the Ice Blast for T-Bin. Although he is 5.5 now, 12.5 minutes in. It's a big part of their kill potential.
They have to get the Clockwork able to hit hook shots. I thought that LGD were the ones lacking initiation, but Cloud9 without that R skill on Clockwork.
Top lane, moving on to SVG. They have the track. A little bit of move speed there, but not going to chase.
And now Sylar almost has his Orchid. He is just about 800, 900 gold away from getting that. And once that happens, Wind Ranger gonna die a lot. Ancient Apparition just food without any return damage, and this could pose to be a problem for Cloud9.
And LGD are now going to start doing the stacks. We see a double stack of big creeps towards the top lane. They did clear out the double stacks in their jungle from earlier. They've also stacked the Ancients once, so they are really upping the economy game as we head to the 13-minute mark. There's opportunities here for LGD if they want to focus a little more on farm.
But everyone's scared. Wind Ranger huddling next to the T1 tower.
You know, it feels like... It kind of feels like game 1, except they're not actually getting killed that much. It's almost like they're just... LGD's just in their heads at this point.
Bounty Hunter could be anywhere.
We're being attacked! Not yet. Maybe
Is that supposed to be ogre voiceover?
I don't know. It's supposed to be Warcraft. I don't think I'm going to get hired by Blizzard anytime soon. What do you think?
Uh-oh, Brax scouted out.
Not even worthy of a response.
There might be a kill, man.
Does pull the lane.
I like your Zug more, by the way.
Okay. We'll have a little post-game review where we polish my ogre skills up a bit.
I really like the ogre's voices or the peon's voices. Very nostalgic.
I like all the voices.
Okay, Brax. No Orchid up yet on Sylar, which means no easy kill yet on Brax. But he is darn close. That's a pretty good timing. And looks like a smoke will happen.
Cloud9 with the 3-hero rotation now, looking to unveil the hook. ROTK would be a big grab as he's very close to his blink. And classic ROTK wants to stick around a little bit longer, but they're gonna miss him.
They barely missed him.
Gyro might find him now as Ritzer TP's in. He's the bait, but the skank is just not.
ROTK is not gonna go for that. That's not a bait.
Yeah, well, they're hoping that there's more than ROTK here, I guess, but that's not the case. They do get down a ward at least, so that's something. Just a little bit.
Let's see if the TA trap scouts them out. Oh, yep, there they go. They're gone. They're done for. That gank is over. And now ROTK can kind of maybe even just passively gold gain until 2250.
Are they gonna come all the way back around and finally kill him? He gets the fissure off.
He needs to mango.
No mana for the TP. He's not gonna mango for it. The rocket comes in. That also misses. Do they just give up? Do they check? Do they check? Yes, they do. Hey, buddy. How you doing over there?
Did he really need a fissure there?
He needed those 2 creeps. But while this is happening, maybe has dove the mid lane. They're gonna lose RTK. But the trade will be a kill in the AA, a tower for maybe, and a Radiant Courier down as well.
Okay, so
worth it.
Earthshaker actually ended up with more gold than what he had before he died.
You know, I'm going to give the king the benefit of the doubt. He's returned Ben. That was tactical.
He could have mangoed and TP'd.
No, but then they wouldn't have been baited into a false sense of security. They got distracted. They could have helped mid.
Radiant structures are
They just want that sweet, sweet ROTK blood.
Now Roshan's opens up for them. This is bad. This is really bad for Cloud9.
Orchid's up on Sylar. I don't know if we've really mentioned that. Hasn't had to do too much with it, but there's the blink on the shaker. Everyone's got their items at this point, and we haven't even really seen track kills yet.
Orchid plus Ogre Club. This farm's out of control, man.
And once he gets a BKB, if he goes for that, there's very little to control him.
So
what is there really?
Ritsu is kind of farmed, and Windranger's still working on the Receptor. They still have pretty darn good late game. I would rather have a Gyro Windranger than a Quap TA, but a Quap and TA that are this far ahead of those two, I favorite LGDs.
A bold prediction, I must say.
Hey, Bloodlust, man.
That's why we keep you around.
Bloodlust
Bloodlust feels pretty bad this game. It's okay on Gyro, I guess.
Focus Fire.
The move speed's good, but the attack speed not so much. Well, Cloud9 are going to start to group up now as they'll give Brax the little buff. They do try to push forward here tentatively, very slowly. MOI, meanwhile, just casually strolling through the Radiant side of the map.
But no one can be off alone. Now they're scared of the Queen of Pain Orchid as well as a Bounty Hunter. So those are two heroes on the map that you need to account for. MMY scouts out FCVG. He knows that he's alone, but no one really there to help. Maybe with the Invis Rune.
And they're about to be scared of a Desolator as well. 3,000 gold up, just about has the double Mithril Hammer, and then it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the recipe.
Or even better,
an Ancient Stack.
Yeah. Maybe he's
stack it one more time and then just farm it?
No, you don't stack that. That thing's already...
No.
Too many auras, man.
That would be a little cocky. They might make their move on the mid lane, though. Hey, 1437. And put the hooks there. This is a beautiful grab by MSS. Maybe he's put out. So too is MMI. They're going to turn and look to fight. And in the end, they will end up dropping two heroes in the mid lane. While that was all going on, ROTK unwound the dunk bottom.
And maybe was able to buy his double Mithril Hammer. So I guess in the end, probably slightly favor C9 even though the track gold because they need kills. They need any sort of momentum they can because everything has kind of been stalled after Ogre hit level 4. After that, just no kills started happening.
What did ROTK junk, by the way?
He dunked the Windranger.
Okay. I just saw the two heroes getting destroyed mid lane by the cogs, but...
It happened near simultaneously.
Gotcha. So MSS will deny the tower, but Deso's already up then. And even though the TA dies, Roshan looks like a freebie right now.
They have Glimmer on DDC, the get out of jail free combination.
What is the counter to the Glimmer on Wyvern? Don't let him farm it?
A really stacked Windranger.
Okay.
Or a really stacked Gyrocopter. But
it's really dirty.
Or a blink on Windranger, because then you can just kill the Winter Wyvern. But he needs a lot more items than what he has right now.
It is going to be Cloud9 grouping up mid. They will now smoke.
Under the Observer Ward, mind you.
Oh, Bounty Hunter doing Bounty Hunter things. That's actually a pretty bold place to smoke. They must be really nervous about the Roche. As well they should be. Maybe was working on it, but...
Oh, they could walk uphill. If he had Echo Slam, I'm pretty sure they would have tried to bait him out right there. But they get some good wards down, and LGD kind of know where they are. They have Observer wards, as well as Queen of Pain, as well as MMY trying to scout out. And now it's been so long, they have to know that they're huddling close to mid lane.
Hook shot.
Whew, that was close. I don't know if they would have popped the refraction charges quick enough for him to not be able to blink out, but
that's a pretty dangerous dive, though, into the curse.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a Cold Embrace plus Glimmer Cape, I think DDC was right there. That would have been
probably for the best it missed, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they're just not really getting any momentum, Ben. Cloud9, even though it's an even score, 8-7, it's just all the big objectives going LGD's way, the map control going their way. You kind of know they're going to take Roche at some point, and now maybe we'll do it. He's going to get scouted out. No miracle rocket left hit on Roche.
Huddling pretty close to Ritsu.
All down, DDC has the Glimmer and says goodbye to Ritsu. Very easy. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, MMY setting up. Looks like he wants to make a go on Brax. Rocket will clip him. He's going to hang on.
They have vision behind.
Track comes. They're jumping in. They're backing out.
That was really slow on the Blink Orchid by Sylar. I think that they were trying to scout to see if anyone was behind him, but they have an Observer Ward back there. I'm not exactly sure what they were waiting for, but The hesitancy caused them to kill. Not a big deal. They still secure Roach pretty freely, and DDC under a little bit more pressure on the top lane.
Oh, and now the Ancient stack that was never grabbed might be stolen here by Maybe. Even more gold into his pockets as though the guy needs it. Already 2k banked up. MSS, he wants to put a stop to this. He hooks in. Remember, this is only the Aegis, though. And Maybe, is he even going to manage to make it out? The Ice Blast. Not able to finish him.
Sylar was able to kill him right as the Ice Blast was flying out.
So it just shot all the way to top. And now SVG almost going down to the side blades. They do have 3 heroes here, but the cavalry is about to arrive. RTK has an Echo Slam. Cloud9 are going to back out. They cannot stop these Ancients from being stolen. They may even lose more heroes. Ritsu with the TP out. Meanwhile, 2 heroes tracked and also retreating. Brax and MSS running for dear life.
He has a DD,
like
though. They actually have to be scared. It's way too obscured by trees, so they have to worry about the hookshot. Instead, they will kill the prize dragons.
So they do manage to steal the Ancients, but it cost them the Aegis in the end, so I suppose that's not the worst trade in the world. These numbers are getting ugly,
they got an
though.
AA kill, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
These numbers are getting ugly, though. 10k gold lead, 10k
really
experience lead.
Radiant's middle tower
And we
is
haven't
under
really seen track kills. I mean, how many have there been? Like 1, maybe?
Cloud9 has just been so scared of the track kills that they've been running around as 5, but when they're running around as 5, they're actually just losing out in gold the other way by not farming any of the map. So I think they had to try and get away with clean team fights, but at this point they're so far behind in gold that I don't actually know if they can win team fights. You want to make this maneuver when you're 3,000, 2,000 gold behind. Instead, they waited so long now that TA is such a big force.
Oh, Maybe. Those get scouted out of here. There's the hook. This is a huge grab, but Maybe's able to jump out. The refraction was still going.
Yeah, I think
So the blink doesn't get disabled. That big mechanics change to the hero a few patches back.
Whew. Yeah, they have to have like a blink shackle to follow it up, but Wind Ranger's still pretty far away. MMY scouting out all
They
these
have
heroes.
a curse available. They're going to slow down MSS here with the trap, the Arctic Burn. He's hardly moving, just slowly sneaking away, but not fast enough to escape the wrath of Maybe. And now to the south, where they're going to isolate Brax. He's tracked. The gold continues to pile into the LGD coffers. Might even go for round 2 on these Ancients.
They're getting destroyed by these traps. Like, this traps are always scouting them out, as well as the Bounty Hunter. And even if Bounty Hunter has died 4 times and hasn't been able to provide that many track kills, the deep observer wards that he's placed, as well as just being constantly invisible and scouting out C9's movements, has proved to be invaluable.
They make their jump on a DC, but the Glimmer Cape saves them for a while. This time they do come prepared with the dust, but this is an opening for LGD at the same time as they look to push on the mid lane. Call down gets dropped by Ritsu. Won't have it for the high ground defense if LGD want to breach. But they're going to wait a little bit longer. Maybe just bought his BKB. Hasn't had it delivered yet. And that Roshan still going to be a ways off as he lost the Aegis very early. So maybe a little while before LGD try to go for high ground.
And again, LGD with another round of deep boards. One close to the top, one right outside of Cloud9's base, and they already popped so many smokes.
You mentioned it last game, Ben, that they needed a gem on the Naga. It feels like they need a gem this game as well. The traps, the Bounty Hunter, the wards everywhere. Well, LGD are just winning the vision game so hard.
Even then, they don't really have that much catch. As MSS went for a Veil of Discord. Hoping
just to amp up the AA and Gyro ults, you think?
And ding ding ding. Don't forget about that.
Primarily ding ding ding. Who are we kidding? I missed the forehead strat though. When's Jakiro gonna come back?
He's viable. MSS gets
Ice played him actually at Nunyon, that's right. He had a huge performance that game.
It's a good hero.
Top lane. Finally the tier 1 gonna go down. Actually surprised that was even still available here for LGD, but they will claim it.
Oh, that was still up? I thought it was nailed a long time ago.
Yeah. Free gold as though the man needed more.
Clockwork.
Another missed hook.
Sai. MSS has not been able to connect.
RTK is a 4-step anyway. I think he lives there regardless.
Yep. The analysts did not like the early pickup on the Clockwork, and as we've seen, it just hasn't been that effective for them. They weren't able to limit the safe lane farm because of no dual lane, and although the Ogre did get some work accomplished, it hasn't transitioned into a nice mid-game.
Top lane, maybe looking to chunk down Ritsu, but a bit too tanky. Has the Dominator, the Aquila. He's actually keeping up in farm very nicely. The big and lone shining bright spot, really, for Cloud9 right now. Bottom lane though, jump onto T-Bin. They've got a crop ult if they want to use it, but the Shuriken is going to get the job done. That last bounce with the Soul Burn Nice and clinical here for LGD, not wasting any unnecessary spells. And continuing to pressure everywhere they go. The Midas Stream is a very distant one at this point.
And LGD looking to... So they saw that there were 2 heroes bottom, so they're anticipating a C9 move in response to try and kill Maybe now that he does not have his Aegis up. But probably unwilling to do that because they don't have a clean way to jump him, as we saw with the Smoke Pop, and of course a recently acquired BKB by Maybe.
Trap comes out.
That's
Fissure
an
just
awkward
a bit off the mark. Shackle, not going to latch. Good blink out for Maybe. And they are swinging in from behind with none other than MMY.
Track him up.
Nah, just the threat of the track, Ben. Just the threat.
And Wind Ranger is almost doubled up by Maybe, though. That's a huge problem. And yeah, as you mentioned, Gyro keeping up pretty decently with the Queen of Pain, but without a Blink Dagger, there's just no clean jump for them. They always have to get past like, the line of the Earthshaker, and Winter Wyvern's always going to be there ready for the Curse and the Cold Embrace. And it's insanely difficult for Cloud9 to take a team fight right now unless an Ice Blast hits, and their best bet is actually just to get quick picks off on sides of the map with Clockwork Hookshot into AA Blast, and then anyone else should land a kill on non-BKB heroes.
This is just getting ridiculous. Steven leaves the base. Just a little chaunt out in the garden, and suddenly he's greeted by a bunch of hoodlums and thugs who quickly finish him off. MS says, there's the 3-hero fissure. Look for the Doug from RTK. No, doesn't have any more mobility, unfortunately, but another kill. Sylar grabbing a second one there.
I like the response to the AA pickup, though. Cloud9 have been getting away with semi-unpunished Ancient Apparition picks, and I think LGD were completely ready. Okay, you guys pick AA, we'll pick Bounty Hunter, and then we will just pick that hero off wherever you go, because AA honestly can't really do that much versus a Bounty Hunter.
And it shows you, it doesn't matter if you have a bad start. And they haven't even needed the track gold. It's just really the vision and the random out-of-nowhere pressure on the lanes that has made the difference. He died a bunch. He didn't really have a great early start, but they still managed to just come right back and control the game. It's looking pretty bleak now for Cloud9 as they continue to be hemmed in. Still no sign of a gem, so the vision very lacking. T-Ben, 2 wards in his pocket, really wants to get these down. So they are feeling pretty lost at this point.
They are. RTK maybe looking for a dunk.
There's your dunk. All right, RTK, he just wants to use the damn thing. It's been so long since he got it off. And now the maybe will get to work here. BKB gets popped. They'll lose RTK. They still have the curse available. It's going to go the way of MSS. Held in position as Sylar begins to work on him. And meanwhile, your Templar Assassin... Oh, Quap able to jump out. Maybe also into the trees. So Cloud9, not too bad of a fight. 2 for 2 there.
Nice Ice Blast. And it was really good of Brex to pop his wind run before they actually jumped him too. That saved his life for a good few seconds.
AC also up on Sylar now, so breaking the base just got a lot easier for LGD.
And Roshan's going to respawn very shortly after the 2 members of LGD come up, so that's another Aegis for Maybe. Or even Sylar, probably Maybe.
Yule's also picked up now on the Earthshaker. Can look to dodge that Ice Blast maybe. Just kite around a bit more. And Sylar will push in the mid lane. Prepping for the potential Roche, though. It is going to end up being 1 minute off, so... LGD just want to keep these lanes out. They still have their bottom tier 1.
Gyrocopter can only do so much when he's this farmed. He can't solo kill people. TA can solo kill people. Queen of Pain can solo kill anyone but Gyro. Ooh, that was really close.
And
nice
even if she could, she can always get cursed. MMY, though, is going to get caught out. Finally, they wrangle him. And they are going to get a gem out of this.
Nice.
This is a DDC gem. Well, so much for needing to buy one.
Nice observer reward there.
Yeah, that was what T-Ben was trying to get down earlier, but finally has it. But yeah, that's the thing, Ben, is even, let's say the Gyro could kill people, what happens when he gets cursed? They have no real save. Like, he probably just gets jumped and dies to the TA.
You bloodlust your teammates so he dies faster.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
During curse. Okay, so now TA...
I don't think that's the play.
TA working on MKB, so that means BKB Wars or Butterfly Wars going to be easily won by LGD.
Uh-oh. This could be trouble for Brax on the top lane as he tries to blink out, but maybe he's on the chase. Shackle not going to connect. There's the curse. Finds old mood chicken Brax, and he will be sent packing there. Maybe even going to find MSS as well, but no more lockdown to kill him off. So he will be able to TP away, but another grab, fortunately. Not a track kill. As MMY only now moseys in, but he's got a blink now. Even easier for him to get those aggressive wards up and get some vision. For
Nice
LGD.
Satyr usage by Ritsu. Looks like he's about to head in a Roche with that HOD creep. So how late is too late for Midas? Ancient Apparition has a Gloves of Haste and 1,000 gold.
What do you think?
I honestly don't think there's really a hard limit on Midas. Like, what if he?
I don't see what. Like, I feel like there's nothing else he can buy right now that will affect the game. So he might as well get a Midas and just hope this goes like an hour.
Because that's the only way they win, right? If it goes 55 plus.
Yeah.
At this point, so
like, what could he? Force Staff, Glimmer Cape. Are these really items that are? Solar Crest is okay here, I guess, but maybe he's gonna have an MKB. So, already does have an MKB. So scratch that.
I mean, the Clockwork might as well build the motley crew of items, though. Like, if they want a Solar, if they want Force Staff or a Mech, he should be getting that item so that Ogre can get a Scepter and AA can get a Scepter, because those are the super important items come super late game.
The Ogre Scepter, super important.
It is.
Yeah.
Double multicast with Veil? Hello?
There is no way that SVG is staying alive to cast multiple spells in a fight.
Maybe they can buy Glimmer Cape and Glimmer Cape him so he can get it off.
Shadow Blade Ogre, just sneak in.
If only they had an Auk.
Yeah, this would actually be a dream out game. There's 4 heroes that could really use that eggs.
Illusion.
Again, maybe Clockwork, not the hero, Ben. Should have gone for the off-lane out. I'm not sure if that would have worked.
You gotta play for the 70-minute win.
I mean,
gotta have that contingency
like you
plan.
said, it's the Cloud9 way. Maybe sticking to their guns is what they need to do, but obviously got punished very hard in game 1.
I want that gem back.
Oh, MMY! He's foraging, but that Veil is gonna really hurt. Ice Blast! Ghost Splat! Nice pick off there. Silo's gonna turn, tries to engage on the Ritsu. Needs a little backup. Where's that Templar Assassin? The quad bolt committed. ROTK still has the Echo ready. Blink's about to cool down. He wants to use it very badly. Look for the slam. Doesn't even need it. Maybe he's too busy. He's too fast. Just diving in deeper and deeper.
Okay, that
Kill
side
after
blade
kill.
was disgusting. His positioning on attacking the Ogre so it splashed into the Ancient Apparition. That is a sign of a truly great TA player.
I'm just sitting here waiting for like a curse or a blink echo to set maybe up, but he's I got this myself, guys. Don't even worry about it. Who needs supports or setup? And you've got the Wonder Kid on your team.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Nice side plays though.
That was
really well played.
And he still has the Aegis to show for it. They still have all their big initiation. There is a nice Shackle from Brax to slow things down.
Everyone's too scared. What do we do?
Radiant's middle tower.
They can even Cold Embrace if they even think about attempting a kill on maybe. Through Aegis, through BKB, through Refraction. Everything has fallen apart for Cloud9. The Ogre early roam into what?
Oh. That would have been a bold fight. It is not feeling very comfy in Cloud9 land. A loss here would send them straight down to the lower bracket, and those BO1 games, you scrap one win together maybe, but
Ancient Apparition, he ditched the Midas. He went for the treads into the Gauntlets of Strength, though he doesn't die. He's had enough of dying.
Oh, trust me, he's gonna die again this game.
Maybe a Ghost Scepter would have helped him out.
Yeah.
But then he gets AA ulted.
Get your 70-minute Ethereal Blade, you know? That's a game-changing item against TA. Dale gets the point. They do match the Shackle, maybe. Remember, he's the Aegis carry. Now the Fissure coming through. They back off, maybe. Will get caught, though. Ice Blast, he gets pushed out. Nicely played by LGD. And he will survive. Now healed right back up. Power Shot slowing it down a little bit, but there is the mech, and LGD go for round 3 of this mid
smoke
push.
for the defense.
Oh,
kind of imperative.
It's all on the Shackle here. They need something big, and it's not going to latch for Brex. Now he turns tail around. The hook also misses. Cloud9 are just not connecting on their big plays, but guess who is? It's DDC. There with the curse, and now Sylar from the sides. He comes from the north, maybe comes from the east, and everybody from Cloud9 heads home. LGD tells them to pack their bags. 4 heroes dead, 2 buy back. Will it matter? Still the Aegis online. Shackle connects, but the Fissure's there again. And now ROTK comes in with the big totem, the Echo as well. Another death and a dieback in the end for the Wind Ranger. GG, LGD pull it together and will come second in the group. and managed to move into the winner's bracket. Cloud9 down to the losers.
Outfarmed and outplayed. I think that SVG needs to he needs to be able to not die, and he had a really good early game, but he wasn't able to not die after that. Like, he died to the neutrals once, which is fine, and then after that it's like, okay, well, Ogre can't kill anyone, now what do we do? And they just all same loss. It's like, we don't want to die to the bounty hunter, and they're out farming us, but we don't have a choice, so okay, let's just farm.
I feel like this game is also a crash course in how good